Hello all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there, this is Dragothien here, and today I'm going to showcase the proper way to maximize your slowing of an army. So when you're attacking an enemy, whether it's a reinforcing army inside of Arc, or whether it's a rally inside of Arc, or even in KBK where people are sending, your enemies are sending rallies through the pass to attack flags or structures or cities or whatever, right? You want to be able to maximize the slowing effect of those targets, and there's different ways to do it and there's different levels to do it. I'm going to show you the best ways, and then I'm going to show you the free to play ways that can also help out and really help as we start to swarm rallies and swarm targets with multiple people, where the rallies almost come to a standstill. And I'm also going to show you the battle reports so you can see what that looks like, because now everything's broken down for you, which is really nice. First off, our first best of the best kind of way to do this as a solo march, and obviously the more of these that you have swarming it, the better. So if you have a few people with Saladin Richard, this is the best way in my opinion to do it, because it's the best combination and the highest number of active and passive march speed reduction that you can get in the game. The other alternative to this, which I will show you, is Saladin Aethelfled. That's another one. However, Aethelfled's march speed reduction is random. It is not on a set schedule of how it works. So there's some times where the Aethelfled secondary will be better. It'll work a lot better. And then there's some times where it will work worse because it doesn't proc the way that you want it to. But let's go ahead and show you what I mean by what I'm talking about here. And I'm going to go ahead and... Yep, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving this march up so you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to target this march right away. And as you can see, the little red circle right there, that's a slow. That's Richard's expertise that proc. That's a 50% negative. And now we're starting to see, look how slow this is. We're starting to see the combination of Saladin and Richard's expertise procking at the same time. And look at this. Look how slow it is. Oh my goodness, it's so slow. There's no chance for this march to get away. It's locked down. This is T4 versus T4. T5 versus T5 would give the same results. Now, the only thing that I've seen get away from this one-on-one is if the march that you're trying to catch is a properly spec'd out mobility primary commander like Double C, Belisarius, etc., without having Genghis as a secondary. So if you've got Belisarius Lancelot or whatever, right? That's going to work to get away from this. But if you have enough people doing it, it won't be able to get away because it'll be perma march speed reduced. And then you're going to be in really good shape. So that was Saladin Richard. And let me show you again why this works. Remember, active skills and passive skills do stack. They stack. Two active skills do not stack. Okay, so that's what goes into the theory crafting behind this. So Praise the Creator, which is Saladin's primary skill, it goes from 40% healing speed, 30% march speed to 50% march speed reduction when he is expertised. Okay, so when you fire this off, he's going to get a big damage hit right here from the damage factor. You're going to reduce his march speed by 50% for 5 seconds, which is a long time. And you're going to reduce his healing effects, which, again, for this video, not important. Now, when you go to Richard, right, he has an active march speed reduction as well of 15%. This does not stack, and I'll show you that in the battle log where it does not stack. This also does not override Praise the Creator from Saladin, and it also does not adjust the timing that Praise the Creator gives you of 5 seconds. Okay, so the game takes the better buff and keeps the duration of that buff. So whenever we fire off Praise the Creator, and then 2 turns later we fire off Richard's Soul of the Crusaders, this part of it doesn't do anything to the march speed. It doesn't do anything to the duration. However, his expertise, Tyrannical Lion, this one does stack. Every 10 seconds, the target's march speed is reduced by 50% for 5 seconds as well. So this is 10 seconds of combined, I guess, but really when you start to look at the battle log, which I'm about to show you, I'm going to go through this with you, it's not 10 seconds of 50% each. I'll show you what this looks like. So the first turn, you never get anything. Second turn, boom, Tyrannical Lion procs off. Here we go. Tyrannical Lion. Bingo. Troops led by this commander take, and we just went through it, reduced 50% for 5 seconds. Now, something to keep in mind as well. Passive, right? So we got Tyrannical Lion going off here. Takes effect at the start of the next turn. Passive and active skills operate this way when it comes to most things, but especially slows. So whenever you fire your skill off, you don't get it that turn, you get it at the start of the next turn, okay? So turn 2 here, we have Tyrannical Lion actually proccing off, starting its 5-second, right, timer. So we got 50% here, which you see over here on the left side, March speed negative 50%. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, negative 50%, okay? Now, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you got nothing. Also 11, I'm sorry. 7 through 11, you have nothing. Now, here's where it starts getting fun. You fired off on turn 11, praise the creator. Bingo. That's the other 50% March speed bonus right here. That's the 50%. You also have, again, triggering Tyrannical Lion. Bingo. 50%. Reduce of March speed for 5 seconds. Ultra slowdown, but they're passive and active. So when we go to the next turn, turn 12, boom, 125%. Negative March speed. There you go. So that's turn 12. Turn 13, 14, 15, and 16 all have negative 125%. Now, 17, 18, 19, nothing. Because again, once you start firing the skills off, the skills start going off faster, okay? So up to 19, you got nothing. But again, here's turn 20 with negative 75%. Now, why is it 75%? Let's go into it. You've got Praise the Creator at 50%. You've also got, it's not Soul of the Crusader. Where's it at? Show me. Here we go. All units March speed decreased by 25% due to the other ultra slowdown effect, which I haven't shown you yet. Let me show you what that looks like. The reason there's another 25%. So 50 and 50 is 100, right? And we saw it at 125. Let me show you why it's 75 and 125 going forward. Talents. Cage of Thorns. 25% reduction of March speed. This also stacks. Active, passive, talents, stat. All three, okay? So here we go. Now here's the other thing. Something else you can do to kind of help you out. Equestrian Excellence here. If you're making a march specifically to reduce the march speed of whatever it is that you're targeting, Equestrian Excellence does actually have some value here because it helps you keep up with your target because you're tapping it the whole time and you're increasing your march speed by 15% if it procs. So that's a good thing to have. If you're making an army specifically to reduce the march speed of a rally coming out against your cities or structures or whatever, and certainly inside of Arc, I think there's a value here that a lot of people are not really using, and I think that this is kind of going to be one of those things that helps get some teams maybe over the hump on certain things, reducing the speed at which these rallies are going off. And then even hitting armies behind enemy lines when they're coming to the middle of arc, so they can capture the arc and bundle up there, get the murder ball going. Slowing all these armies is not a bad idea, and it helps you position yourself forward better. I mean, something to think about. But that's why it's 75 and 125% now. So when we go back to the report, and I think we were on turn 20, so let's keep going. Negative 75% is what it starts to be at now. It's not just negative 50%. So they're even slower, okay? And then again, you got 22, jumps to 125 because that is when you got Praise the Creator rolling, you've got Cage of Thorns rolling, and now you also have Tyrannical Lion firing off and being activated. So then, again, you continue going down the path, and as you can see, negative 25, negative 20, 125. Now it drops down to negative 50 because you've lost the talents and you've lost Praise the Creator, but you still have Tyrannical Lion going for this turn and one more turn at 26%. 27 has nothing, but then we're back up to 75% at 28. So again, as you can see, once you start firing your skills off with this march, They're not going anywhere. There's 1 second where they don't have a speed reduction, okay? And if they've got a Genghis, or if they've got a commander where they lose march speed when they're being attacked, it's over. It's game over 100% of the time. So here we go. Same thing, negative 75%, negative 75, negative 125, negative 50, negative 50, negative 50. And now there's always, look at this. We're at this point, we're catching up, and we've got constant negative march speed on the target. Look at this. Now we've got none. There's another negative 50, and it starts the whole process over again, negative 125, all the way down. And again, you're just always having negative march speed on your targets at this point. So here we go. That's how you do it, okay? Now let's try it with Saladin Aethelfled. All right, so now I'm back with Saladin Aethelfled. We're going to do the same exercise, and I'm going to go ahead and move this army south so you can see what we're talking about. Again, Aethelfled versus Richard. Richard is more reliable. It's more consistent, but you could get better results with Aethelfled. Second skill, I apologize. Troops led by this commander gain that, and then their attacks have a 10% chance to inflict slowdown on the target, reducing its cavalry units' march speed by 50%, and then 30% for all other troop types. That's the other thing where Richard kind of shines. It doesn't matter what type of troop you're slowing down, it's always 50%. So to get the maximum with Aethelfled, it's got to be going up against the Cav commander, which usually, again, for rallies, especially KVK related rallies, they're going to be Attila rallies, which this would apply for. Okay, here we go. So again, you're not getting that instant proc. Usually it takes at least 4 or 5 turns if you're in really good shape. Now I've got T5 against T4 here, and now here we go. We're starting to see the slowdown. It's not quite as pronounced as the Richard one, but you can see the slows starting to pop from Aethelfled, from Saladin. You're still keeping up, and this is even again with T5. So something to keep in mind too. This is even better of an example of, you know, being able to keep up. T5 versus T4 is hard. I'm also pumping out a ton of damage with T5, but that's the idea there. So let me go ahead and pull back here. I need to also refresh this march because it's starting to look a little shabby. Now remember, turn 2 is when Richard procced off his skill, or his march speed reduction. We got turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, nothing, turn 6, nothing, 7, 8, 9, 10, still nothing. A full cycle. That's a 10% chance skill, guys. So here's the negative 75% march speed. Again, 50 from Praise the Creator from Saladin, and 25% from Cage of Thorns on the support tree. That's turn 12. That's our first negative march speed. Now again, to me, I want the negative march speed early, because with rallies, you want to slow them down as quickly as possible so you can start cranking out the skill damage, obviously, from all the swarms, but also the march speed reductions as well. Now, turn 13, same thing, negative 75. Now here's the negative percent stats from Aethelfled firing off. We're still at negative 75% march speed, but watch how it's done once Thunderous Force is procced. In fact, we're at turn 20 now, guys, and there is no Thunderous Force procced yet. Not a single one. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's Thunderous Force. Turn 26. Negative 30% on all troop types except for Cav, which is negative 50%. But that's 26 seconds of not having Thunderous Force proc. Now here's 27. Let's see 28. Does it all stack up? It sure does. 75% plus the 30, 50, 30, 30. And then here's the healing speed reduction. Now this is the same. All this together, this is the same as if you had Richard, where it said negative 125%, because you got march speed here. Now these are designated troop types. That's why it's separated out. But if this is Cav, which is what we saw, right? 50% plus 75% is 125%. So, but look how long it took to get that negative 125%. And again, it's very random. We've only seen it proc one time. One time. Look at this. That's insane. I've had other tests where it procced 5 times in 2 turns. But it just depends. That's why I was saying earlier, Aethelfled, yeah, see, it only procced once in the entire fight. So you got to be careful with Aethelfled if you don't have a maxed Richard, which this only works with a maxed Richard, guys, right? For the first test that I showed you, because you need Tyrannical Lion proccing that 50% reduction of movement speed for 5 seconds to make that work. Okay. Now, what's a way that you can do this as a free to play? Because I just showcased 2 legendary commanders. One is an MGE commander, one is a wheel commander. That's kind of hard to max out as a low spending or free to play player, or somebody who's maybe really gung ho on archers. What do we use? And I want Baibars second. And then we're going to do it reverse. Baibars primary, Aethelfled second. But look how slow that march is. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and test out Mixed Troop Aethelfled primary, Baibars secondary against Mina Double C, both having T5 troops. So let's go ahead and get the ball rolling on this. Go. Now let's see. Okay, so you saw the slow very early on with Aethelfled. Her Thunderous Force must have procced right away. But look, I'm keeping up with Cav, with mixed troops here. And here we start to see, again, look how slow it's getting. This is 2 commanders that you can have as a free-to-play, low-spending player and do what you need to do. This is against a full T5 Cav march. And you're keeping up, you're slowing it down. If you can keep up with this, all of your buddies that are swarming the target can also keep up. No problem. Look at the damage you're doing, too. Pretty substantial. Okay, now I lost it. See, I must have missed a couple Aethelfled procs. So let's go ahead and return the marches and go over the battle report really quick on that one too. This was Aethelfled Baibars mixed troop. I can also do Aethelfled Baibars with full cav. I can also do Baibars Aethelfled with full cav, and we'll do that really quickly as well. Look at the damage. That's good damage. Troop count obviously almost double. So that's a thing to keep in mind. But look at this. So first turn, always, you're never going to have anything. Second turn, third turn is when you start to get the march speed. So that procced. Thunderous Force did proc on the previous turn. All right. So that procced a lot earlier than with Saladin. Turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. Now Thunderous Force is only 2 seconds, I think. Yeah, it's 2 seconds. So it procced twice. Look at that. Thunderous Force, 1 turn left. It kept proccing. It procced multiple times. Look at that. Interesting. So it should just be third turn, fourth turn, and then that should be it. But because it procced again and again, it procced back to back. Look at that. See, but you saw the last time, right, where we had Saladin primary. Didn't proc at all, but it must have, if it went from turn 3 to 9, it must have procced like 4 times. Look at that. Thunderous Force over and over and over and over. That's crazy. 1 turn, 1 turn, 1 turn. I don't know why I keep closing it. 1 turn, 1 turn. 1 turn. 2 turns. Reprocced again. Wow. All right, so that's why we were able to keep up so well at the beginning. So here's turn 10, turn 11, reprocced again on turn 10. Now we got turn 12. Now that should be the end of that proc. But here we go, it procced again. Look at it. Have we found something here? Have we found how to, I mean, because I've not really used Aethelfled primary, guys. I just don't. I use her as a secondary to almost everything. But he has procced, she has procced so much. And then you've also got the negative 25% march speed from the talent tree for Aethelfled. And then now we should start seeing, okay, now it went away. There's the negative 75% march speed, 25% from the talents, and 50% from Baibars. Let me show you what that looks like. Blot out the sun, decreasing their march speed by 50% for only 2 seconds, though, guys. Okay, god damn. Keep closing it. I apologize. Don't need to look at the buffs either. It doesn't do me any good. All right, so we're at, let's see, 13, 13. Okay, so nothing. So negative 25%. We've lost the 50% from Baibars. We still have the talents going. No debuffs, no debuffs, no debuffs, no debuffs. Here we go again. March speed negative 25% from talents. Talents. Baibars plus talents. And then back to talents. And then Thunderous Force procs again. So we got 1, 2 there. Thunderous Force procced again. 1, 2 there. Thunderous Force procced again. It's weird. It's so weird. It's every 2 turns, it's proccing like back to back to back to back to back to back. Now we're at negative 75%, but there was never really a time where we had Baibars at 50%, we had 25% for the talents, and we had Aethelfled's Thunderous Force procced. You know, I wonder, you know, even though they technically do stack, I've started to see some patterns around things just not firing. Like, not even just not stacking, but not firing. Like, they don't fire in the battle log. Like, Thunderous Force doesn't actually, like, fire. So let me show you what I mean. So we had Thunderous Force go back to back to back to back to back through here, right? Baibars cast his skill. Blot out the sun. Just cast it. The slow takes effect on the next turn. I almost closed it again. Turn 24. We have the negative 75%. We start to not see Thunderous Force get procced for a while. Ooh. Let's see again. Now it's going away. Now that it went away, right? That's turn 26. Turn 25, we had Baibars thing procced. Baibars' primary skill was procced, 50%. Turn 26, it's gone. That's when Thunderous Force procs. And then you'll start to see the negative effect on the next turn, which is 25%. Well, the 25% went away too because of the timer. But now we've got the negative march speed from Aethelfled. Let's see it again here. So you've got negative 25% march speed. This is the talent. Then you've got Aethelfled's Thunderous Force. This is on turn 32. Turn 33, gone. You've got the talent, which is always going to be on, plus, well, not always, but when it's procced, plus the 50% from Baibars. So turn 33, turn 34, turn 35, Baibars goes away. Let's check and see if Thunderous Force gets procced. No. So it still hasn't procced yet. Turn 36, 7, 8, it just doesn't proc again. Yep, it's gone. So, guys, that's a free-to-play version, so you can add that into the Saladin and the Saladin and the Richard combo. So you got some people that can do Saladin and Richard because they have them both maxed, and you can bring, if you don't have those maxed but you still want to help contribute to that and cause decent damage, you can bring your Aethelfled Baibars or Baibars Aethelfled. So guys, if you do Baibars primary though, you do lose Cage of Thorns because Baibars does not have the support talent tree, he has the skill talent tree. So if you switch it to Baibars Aethelfled instead of Aethelfled Baibars, which is why I showed you the Aethelfled primary one, you do lose that guaranteed 25% 5 seconds march speed reduction. But again, you may want to have Baibars primary for firing off the skills faster, and then ultimately, again, hoping and praying and crossing your fingers that you get Aethelfled to proc her Thunderous Force skill number 2. So hope this has been helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section below. If it was helpful, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit the bell notification. We are a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. So if you want to get content like this on a daily basis, come on back. We'll see you again next time. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care.